Good morning, fourth grade online learners. Welcome to March 22nd. It is spring. Spring has sprung. March 22nd, 2021, with me, Mr. Monzo, fourth grade science. We have Mr. Casper's class, and we have a bunch of volunteers that want to read today. Probably 10, but there's only 5 pages, so we'll have to get to those other people another day. So we're talking about climates of the world, guys, before I begin. And depending on where you live in the world, it could be cold all the time, it could be hot all the time, or it could be like Pittsburgh. Warm, hot, warm, cold, warm, hot, warm, cold. We have 4 seasons. So we have a little bit of something for everybody, and many people enjoy that. But like I was telling the other class, other fourth grade class, the older you get, you start to see people that are retired going to Florida in the wintertime because the cold weather can be tough to deal with the older you get. So imagine you're here for Christmas, you're here for New Year's, and then you say, you know what, for 3 months we're going to go down south, and when we get back, the snow and all the harsh temperatures are done. Three and a half, something like that. Now let's hold questions till the end, guys, and we'll talk a little bit more because I know you can all relate to what I just said. But we're talking about climates of the world. We have 4 different climates, at least 3, because fall and spring are kind of the same. But summer and winter couldn't be any more opposite. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, though, sometimes you live in areas that are cold all the time and hot all the time. So it just depends on how far away you are from the center of the earth, the equator, or center latitude line. Okay, first up is Ellison, and she's going to read Climates of the World. Ellison, make sure you speak clearly. You can sit in the chair or stand. That's up to you, Ellison. Here she comes.
If someone asked you what winter is like in your area, what would you say? You could not say exactly what the temperature would be or how much snow or rain would fall on a certain day, but you probably could give someone a general idea of the weather in your area during the winter. You would be describing your climate. Climate is the average weather conditions in an area over a long period of time. The climate of an area determines the kinds of plants and animals that can live there. Caption: Colorful tropical fish can only survive in hot climates where the water temperature is warm. Skunks are hardy animals that can survive both warm summers and cold winters. Harp seals live in cold climates. Their thick fur keeps them warm.
Okay, who's next? Growler. Lillian, come on up. Lily.
No,
All right.
Growler.
Come on up, Lily.
Lawnmower.
Earth can be divided into 3 major climate zones. The warmest climates are found in the tropical climate zone. A tropical climate is hot and rainy. The tropical climate zone is the area directly north and south of the equator. It receives strong sunlight all year. The coldest climate zones are the areas around the North Pole and the South Pole. The poles receive the least amount of sunlight on Earth. Because of this, the polar climate has very cold temperatures. Although the year most places in the polar climate zones have snow on the ground almost all year. Most of the United States is in a temperate zone. The temperate zones are between the tropical zone and the polar zones. A temperate climate usually has warm, dry summers and cold, wet winters. Temperature climate. The temperate zones have definite summer and winter seasons. In the tropical zones, the sun is directly overhead much of the time. The climate is hot and rainy. The polar zones receive the least amount of sunlight. This keeps the poles extremely cold.
Okay, good job, Lillian. And next up, oh, Lily, sorry, I have a Lillian in the other class. Next up is Tamale. Tamale, did you want to read the next page? We will have a brief review at the end of the video. Sometimes it's hard to hear with these masks on, but I do appreciate the student volunteers. Come on up, Tamale. And there's 3 more pages. Okay, Tamale, you can sit or stand, whatever you prefer.
Practice accepting
Hold on, Tamale, hold on. We don't need a pencil. Have a seat. Shh. Daniel. All right, go ahead, Tamale.
Practice